Now, the Bible talks a lot about joy, and it's very important to have a joyful attitude. In John 15, after talking about abiding in Him, Jesus said, "These things I have spoken to you, that my joy may remain in you, and that your joy may be full." John 16, verse 23 to 24, Jesus relates the fullness of joy to our prayer life. Peter said about Jesus, "Whom having not seen you love, though now you do not see Him, yet believing, you rejoice with joy inexpressible and full of glory." The Bible also says in Hebrews that Jesus was anointed with oil of gladness. Hebrews 1:9, "You have loved righteousness and hated lawlessness. Therefore God, your God, has anointed you with the oil of gladness more than your companions." In Nehemiah chapter 8, there was a revival happening in Jerusalem. The people heard the preaching of the word. They were taught the word. And it says when they understood the word, they were convicted, and there was a revival. And in Nehemiah 8:10, it says, "Go your way, eat the fat, drink the sweet, and send portions of those for whom nothing is prepared. For this day is holy to our Lord. Do not sorrow, for the joy of the Lord is your strength." And it's interesting that James links the trials with joy, because usually that's the first thing that goes. You have a trial, you're angry, you're upset, you're confused, and joy is the first thing that goes. And but Nehemiah points out the importance of it, because it says that it's your strength. Now, if the first thing that goes is your joy, which is your strength, you're already off to a bad start. We're off to a bad start, because we don't have strength to pray, we don't have strength to be in the Word, we don't have the strength to be in fellowship if we lose our joy. So it's important to remember to ask the Lord for joy, because that's not something that we could produce on our own. Because notice it says the joy of the Lord is your strength. It's not anything that we can conjure up or anything like that. It comes from Him. And that's why it says in Psalm 16:11, "You shall show me the path of life. In your presence is fullness of joy. At your right hand are pleasures forevermore." So the way to get joy is to be before His face, in His presence. And also, being joyful is not only good for us spiritually, but also physically. Proverbs 15:13 says, "A merry heart makes a cheerful countenance, but by sorrow of the heart the spirit is broken." Proverbs 15:15, "All the days of the afflicted are evil, but he who is of a merry heart has a continual feast." Proverbs 17:22, "A merry heart does good like medicine, but a broken spirit dries the bones." So, again, outlook determines outcome. To end with joy, begin with joy.